In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what Quantize is, how to use it effectively, and why I would recommend keeping it on all the time when DJing. Let's get into it. Now, this is also part of my 30-day free email series where I give you 30 ways that you can improve your DJing in 30 days for completely free. And just here on day 13, you'll get an email explaining what does Quantize actually do. But if you want some more tips and tricks just like this, such as how to mix any track into any track, hot cues but not as you may think, then feel free to sign up to this email series in the link below this video. Alright, so I have 2 tracks up here. Now these are just 2 practice tracks that I've created myself that consist mainly just of drums. I use them in my online courses just to help people learn how to beat match. Now the first thing we want to do is get both of these tracks going and at the same time as each other. Now it doesn't really matter how you do this, you can do this manually or you can use beat sync. So I'm just going to start the track off on the left hand side. And then I'm just going to hit beat sync on both of these just for this example, and then get the track on the right hand side going. Okay, so they sound good together. Now they're not in phrase because that's not the point of this video, but what I'm going to do now is just set a hot cue on this track on the right hand side and then try and jump back to it. Let's see how that sounds. I'm going to set a hot cue and then let's try and jump back, and that's gone out of time. Let's try and jump back to it again, and hopefully you can hear that doesn't sound too good. Alright, let's get them back in time with each other. There we go. Alright, now let's try setting a loop. So I'm going to use the manual loop functions just up here at the top. So I'm going to press in and out and try and set, let's say, a 4-beat loop. In, out, and you can hear if you're slightly off there, they go out of time. And that doesn't sound great. Let's exit the loop and stop these 2 tracks. Also now, if we just go back to where we set that first hot cue at hot cue A and zoom all the way in, you can see that hot cue A was not set right at the start of this kick drum. And this is because we're all human, we're not going to get the exact perfect time every single time. And let's have a look at the loop as well. So you can see that the highlighted section, that is where we set the loop. Let's zoom out slightly. Alright, now if we have a look at that highlighted section, you can see that it's not in time with the kick drums or the beat grid. This one is way too early, and that one's a little more earlier than this kick drum here, and that is why they were out of time. So let's zoom back out and reset these tracks. Let's delete that hot cue, go back to the start of the track, and let's try this again. But this time what I'm going to do is turn Quantize on. Now to do that, you just need to go to this cue just here next to the BPM counter on the left hand side and same on the right hand side. These 2 cues represent the Quantize function, and when they are blue, that means they are activated. So now we have Quantize on, let's do the same exercise again and see how that will sound. Let's press play on the track on the left and then get the track going on the right hand side. Alright, that sounded good. They're in time with each other. Now let's try and get a hot cue going on the right hand side. So I'm going to press it at a random point this time and then jump back to it and see how it sounds. Alright, let's set hot cue A. Go do it now. Alright, let's jump back. And again, I'm going to press it again. And again. And again. I'm going to keep pressing it as fast as I can. And it doesn't go out of time, alright? And I'm pressing that at random times. Let's try the same now with the loop. Alright, so I'm going to set the in point, and then the out point, and they're in time with each other. Alright, let's try it again with a 2-beat loop. So I'm going to press in, out, and perfectly in time. One more time with a 1 beat. That's on a clap. Let's do it on a beat without a clap. And you can hear that's perfectly in time. Now, I wasn't pressing them bang on time every single time. Alright, I am human, I do get them out of time, but they sounded perfect. And that's all due to Quantize. So let's zoom in on this loop here. I'll just move the playhead to the side. You can see right here that the orange highlighted section is exactly right at the start of the kick drum on that beat grid, and also just here as well, it's right at the start of the kick drum and on the beat grid. Let's exit the loop and check out the hot cue. and it is right at the start of the kick drum on the beat grid. So let's just delete this hot cue and show you again. Let's put the playhead, which is this line here in the middle, and when the sound passes over the playhead, that's what you hear in real time. So for example, if I just get this kick drum just on the playhead, you can hear it coming in. Now, if I set a hot cue just now and press this hot cue with Quantize turned on, you'll see the hot cue set right at the start of the kick drum on the white line. However, if I delete this hot cue, turn Quantize off, then press hot cue A, it sets right at the start here where the playhead is. And this goes for the same with loops. So let's delete that hot cue. Let's set a 1 beat loop just here, and you can see the loop starts right at the playhead for 1 beat. It's not in time with the kick drums or the beat grids. Let's remove this loop and turn Quantize on. Then press the 1 beat loop again, and you can see now it snaps exactly to the beat grid and over that kick drum. So it'll be perfectly in time with the track. So basically what you can see Quantize as is like beat sync, but for your hot cues and loops. It will keep your hot cues and loops in time with the track's beat grid and in time with the other track that's playing as well. This is so that if you were to use your hot cues and loops whilst mixing, they won't go out with time and it'll still sound good to the audience. Now for me personally, I like to have this activated and turned on all the time. I just turn it on and then just leave it and I never turn it off. I don't see why you'd want your hot cues or your loops to be out of time when mixing. It's not going to sound good to the audience, and we are human, like I've already mentioned, we are going to make mistakes, especially when you're mixing live and trying to get your hot cues and loops perfectly in time. It's okay if you're beat matching to do manual beat matching because you're doing that in your headphones. But as soon as you have both tracks at full volume and you're doing your mix, if you want to use your hot cues and loops, it's probably best to turn Quantize on to make sure your tracks stay in time with each other. If you want to turn it off and give it more of a human feel, that's completely fine. Have a go at that yourself. Now you might think, right, okay, that's done, just turn Quantize on and leave it. But there's a few things we need to change in the settings to make sure this works as effectively as possible. So I'm just going to exit this loop and then go to the settings cog in the top right hand corner. And then we need to go to controller and then to others. And just here is the Quantize settings. Now as standard, some of these are set to 1/4, which is a quarter, like this. So if you've not changed these in the past, you'll probably have it set up like that. But what I would do and what I would recommend is changing all of them to 1/1, which basically means 1 beat. So that means that when you use your hot cues and your loops, they will snap in time with the beat grid. However, if you have them set to a lower fraction, for example, like a quarter or 1/8, what's going to happen then is when you use your hot cues and loops, it's going to snap to the closest quarter of a beat. So let me show you. So now I've put the snap to 1/4. Let's go to this track again. Now let's press hot cue A. Now remember, Quantize is turned on. If I press hot cue A, it's going to snap here to a quarter of a beat. So it doesn't go to the start of the beat. Let's try it again. Let's move this across to the side just here and press hot cue B. And you see that it snaps just to the side. So it's every quarter. So if you're doing this live and you get your timing off slightly, it's going to throw them tracks out of time as well. So let's show you one more time. Let's put it here. Let's delete them, set hot cue A, and you can see it snap to the quarter. Now, if I was to delete that, go back to my settings, controller, others, and change this to 1/1. Let's try that again. Press hot cue A. You see it now snap to the beat grid. This goes for the same for loops and anything you use for Quantize. So for me, set them all to 1/1 and you shouldn't have an issue using Quantize, even if you're slightly out of time. As long as you're close to that beat, it should sound good. All right, so now I'm just going to quickly show you an example of why you might want to use Quantize when doing a mix. I'm just going to get a track on the left hand side and a bit of an acapella on the right hand side. And I'm just going to do a little bit of hot cue play with these two tracks with Quantize on and listen to how the acapella on the right hand side will stay perfectly in time, even if I'm not perfect in time. So let's have a listen.
Touch it, watch it, turn it, bring it, babe, turn it, watch it, babe, touch it, watch it, turn it, bring it, touch it, watch it, turn it, bring it, babe, touch it, watch it, turn it, touch it, watch it, babe, touch it, watch it, turn it, touch it, watch it, babe, touch it, watch it, touch it, watch it, touch it, watch it, touch it, watch it, touch 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 it, turn it, touch it, babe, touch it, turn it, touch it, babe, touch it, turn it, touch it, babe, touch it, babe, turn it, bring it, turn it, bring the bass back. Touch it, watch it, turn it, touch it, watch it, babe, bass, touch it, watch it, turn it, touch it, watch it, babe, bring the bass back. Touch it, watch it.
Alright, there you have it. As you can see then, I was just pressing them and they were staying in time perfectly. Now, I know I'm not perfectly timed with my hot cues, but you can see how effective that Quantize can be. If you like this video and you want to learn more how to DJ, firstly check out my free email series in the link below if you do want 30 ways to improve your DJing for absolutely free. And next, you can also check out this video that YouTube's recommending you here, as I'm sure if you watch this video, you'll learn even more about DJing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the future. Bye for now.